We welcome in Fox Sports NFL insider Jordan Schultz joining us now. Another Zoomer today? T-Bone, 2 days in a row we've conducted Zoom interviews.
Wow.
This is a big week for this show. Jordan, how are you? Great to see you and talk to you.
Great to be on. Thanks, guys.
It's good having you. What is that one single bat that you have on the wall behind you?
This is, believe it or not, in my childhood bedroom, and I'm from Seattle. This is an Ichiro signed bat that I got when I turned 16, I think. So, yeah, this is a good one.
That's awesome.
So 2 days in a row, we've had football guys. Yesterday, Drew Brees, his office is just a wall of baseball bats.
Yeah.
We got another football guy today, and Jordan Schultz, he's got baseball stuff on the wall. It's nice.
Yeah, I actually got some other stuff, but let me show you one more good one while I have
It's
it.
got to be Griffey, right?
I got a Griffey ball, right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
That's nice.
So-
That's a nice
Very
one.
nice.
Keep that out of view.
Jordan, when it comes to the Patriots search, should we just assume Mike Vrabel is the next head coach of this team?
I think it has been well known that Mike Vrabel is clearly the favorite, the front runner, and for a variety of reasons. And I would take you back to when he was still the Titans coach and he was being honored by the team. He actually went to the Patriots game, literally said, "This is the job essentially that I want. This is the organization I love to be in. There's no other place like this." That said a lot. And I think basically Vrabel is, along with Ben Johnson, considered among many places to be the two top draft picks for the head coach positions. And, the Patriots is such an intriguing job because they have over $120 million in cap. Drake Maye, an owner that's not going to meddle, stable ownership really as a whole, which is not something you can say about all these opportunities, whether it's the Raiders or Jaguars, et cetera. So I would say that Vrabel is the favorite. He interviews tomorrow, and it could move very quickly. I would say that the counter to that is, when they had Gerard Mayo, he was really the guy in waiting. The Patriots did not have to go through the Rooney Rule. They obviously have had that this year. That's the differentiating factor compared to last year with Mayo. But without question, Vrabel is viewed as the significant front runner.
You know what's interesting, and I was around Vrabel, during that induction when he came back last year during that Patriots Hall of Fame ceremony, and nobody knew what Mike was going to think or look like or was going to be into it. When he left there was a little edge to him. Didn't like the ending here. There was some stuff being said. He won a Bill in a game, outcoached him at the end, sort of ran off the field. He stuck around and was so genuinely happy, to be back that I think it opened up a lot of eyes here with ownership and people that run this team.
Yeah.
But the timing wasn't there because Bill's ending, the year wasn't over yet.
Yeah.
Bill was great at the induction, so there was a lot of weirdness to it. And, of course, Mayo was already signed, sealed, and delivered. But
look how happy this dude looks in putting on that red jacket. You can't tell me that's just about being in the Ring of Honor. He is a Patriot. He won 3 Super Bowls there. I know he wasn't drafted there, but that's, he's synonymous with that dynasty. Listen, to that point with Mayo last year and being the coach in waiting, everyone thought that Gerard Mayo was going to have a learning curve, but everyone also anticipated that he would be quicker to adapt and that he would be more hands-on, specifically with the defense. I think that was one of the biggest surprises, was that Mayo wasn't especially hands-on, not only with the offense, but with the defense, considering his background. Vrabel will be. And I think his experience this past year with Cleveland, gauging the NFL, taking a step back, will have helped him. The fact that this is a guy who really, without a top-tier quarterback, took the Titans to 2 back-to-back AFC championship games says a lot. And I think the fact that he's maintained his relationship with Robert Kraft is another huge plus.
We're talking with Jordan Schultz of Fox Sports. You do mention in a tweet, I think it was yesterday, that there are other places where Mike Vrabel is still going to be interviewing. He interviewed with the Jets last week. He'll be here in New England on Thursday. Is there a chance they try and wrap it up and prevent those other interviews from happening? Is that important that the Patriots try and do that?
I think it's important, and I think there's absolutely a chance that they do. I mentioned they fulfilled the Rooney Rule with Pep Hamilton and Byron Leftwich. Vrabel being the guy that not only they particularly wanted, but also it's been made clear to me that he's been campaigning for that job. So listen, could it extend into next week? It's possible. But if you're the Patriots, and I think if you're Mike Vrabel, you probably want to get this thing done. But if you're the Patriots, it would behoove you to make it happen faster. You mentioned the Jets. I know the Saints are especially interested. Like Ben Johnson, who I mentioned before, he's basically going to have his pick of the litter. And I would be surprised if it dragged on more, just because of the fact that we know he's extremely coveted, and we know that New England, especially Bob Kraft, does not want a repeat of last season with Gerard Mayo, and you're not going to have that with Vrabel.
Tom Pelissero just tweeted out a couple of minutes ago that Bill Belichick, there's been inquiries into whether he would actually leave UNC. Is that a name that you've heard during this hiring process? Would you be stunned if he actually jumped back to the NFL before actually coaching a game at UNC?
Yeah, I would be stunned. I think NFL teams are still wondering whether or not and how real it is with Bill Belichick. But I would be stunned, not only because I know he can potentially leave right in June, I think it is, but he's already a guy that's recruiting and posting pictures. If you go to his Twitter or his Instagram, he's on the road with his son Steven, recruiting significantly, going into the backyards of high school football, trying to sign guys, and has been active in the portal. I would be really surprised. Also, if you go back to last year, there wasn't a massive amount of interest, if at all, for Bill Belichick. And I think one of the big reasons, and I talked about this a few weeks ago, but one of the big reasons why he ended up going to Carolina was he didn't have the type of market that he anticipated. So it doesn't surprise me that people would be inquiring, but for him to actually leave North Carolina, where his son just took a job as the DC, I would be really, really surprised.
Another name here of local interest is Elliot Wolf. He's still currently in charge of the Patriots front office, but does he remain in charge for the foreseeable future with a new head coach, especially if it's a top candidate like Mike Vrabel or Ben Johnson? How does he last?
Yeah, I mean, if it's Vrabel, you wonder if Ryan Cowden is attached, who obviously he's very close with from Tennessee. He's with the Giants basically as one of their top executives. The Patriots don't like to use that term GM. We know that. Listen, Elliott, I think, is very well respected. Obviously, comes from a great tree. His dad, Ron Wolf, got Brett Favre, and everyone really respects Elliott without a question. But if it is Vrabel, fast forwarding, it wouldn't surprise me at all, specifically if it were to be a Ryan Cowden that would come in, at least, and share some of the responsibilities with Elliott.
What do you make of Drake May's development compared to all the other rookie quarterbacks, given what he has around him, which isn't much?
I'm blown away. And listen, the fact that Drake Maye didn't have a tremendous amount of experience coming out of college, and he did this with this roster, with the dearth of weapons, is remarkable. And I am not a quarterback guru. I'm the furthest thing from it. But I will tell you that Drake Maye is regarded in such he's so highly regarded across the league. And one of the reasons the Patriots job is considered such an intriguing job, I mentioned the cap space, but it is because of Drake Maye. In fact, I talked to one head coach or potential head coach that is going to be interviewing with a couple of teams, and he told me that he thought Drake Maye, alongside Jaden Daniels, was one of the best young players in the NFL. And I said, what does that mean for you? What does that mean for a prospective head coach? And he said, given what he did, there is not a doubt that this guy is a franchise bona fide quarterback and top 5 dude in the next 3 or 4 years. So I think he is the future of the organization. I would go so far as to say he's the future of the NFL alongside, Michael Penix and Jaden Daniels. So he's that special. And if he was in this class, he would absolutely be the number 1 pick.
Do you have any sleeper candidates for head coaching openings this cycle? Maybe not the Patriots, but a sleeper candidate, a name that people are not talking about that could end up as a head coach.
So Ben Johnson, Aaron Glenn would not be sleepers. Rizzy, the fact that Rizzy's interviewing with the Jets is interesting to me because it's so rare for a special teams coach to get an opportunity, but he did a really good job with the Saints, and he was well liked. So I was actually taken aback and surprised, not because he's not qualified, but surprised that he was interviewing with the Jets. I would be shocked. I know this isn't exactly the question, but I would be shocked if the Jets went the Rex Ryan route. I know that he's publicly said, this is a job I really want. I know how to handle Woody, and I've improved as a coach. And not to say he hasn't, but that would be one I don't foresee. But teams really like coaches coming from success, coaches and executives coming from successful seasons. We talked about Ben and Aaron, a guy that is maybe not surprising, but some people might be surprised would be Brian Flores, given the fact that he is suing the NFL. But the job he did this year with the Vikings defense is nothing short of sensational. And it wouldn't surprise me at all if Brian Flores got a head coaching job. And I think, a year ago, I wouldn't have said that.
Hey, what do you think the wide receiver market's going to look like this offseason? Do you think T. Higgins gets out of Cincinnati? Does Tyreek Hill potentially shake loose from Miami? How does that kind of look from a New England perspective?
The Tyreek thing is a little trickier because of what he said. And he's 30, but he's still, like an elite guy. And for them to make a move would be, that would be like massive. I guess I would be surprised if it went that far. T. Higgins, I'll tell you this. The fact that he had the stretch he did, basically the second half of the year, he had 800 yards and 7 touchdowns. He was sensational. The Patriots really, really like him. He will become one of the higher paid receivers in football. He switched agents, okay? So he is now being represented by the same agent, Rocky Arsenault, who represents Jamar Chase. And that's significant for a whole lot of reasons, but it's very rare for an agent to have two guys at the same position with the same organization, and now he has a tremendous amount of leverage, and it's a really tough spot for the Bengals. So I bring that up to say, if Jamar and T and Joe are really hell-bent on playing together, there is absolutely a scenario where they are able to retain not only Jamar Chase, who's going to be the first receiver ever to eclipse 40 million, but T. Higgins as well. So Higgins' market will be robust, and there's going to be a chance for that to stay together. If he ends up becoming a free agent, I would say New England would be certainly one of the top teams to pursue him. Another guy that will be fascinating to watch is Amari Cooper. Has come on with the Bills, is set to become a free agent. I know he would like to stay there, and he's been very happy. I know Josh Allen loves him, but those would be the two guys at the top of the market, T. Higgins and Amari Cooper for me.
All right, he is Jordan Schultz, Fox Sports. Jordan, appreciate the time.
Hey, if you like that clip, check out more videos from Zolak and Bertrand right here. For more Patriots analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.